Tom Brady, a name synonymous with greatness on the football field, but now his legacy faces a new challenge: a $375 million broadcasting deal with Fox and his recent stake in the Las Vegas Raiders. Can he balance both, or is this a dangerous conflict of interest waiting to blow up? What happens when a sports legend steps into unfamiliar territory? Well, Tom Brady's post-football career is shaping up to be just as dramatic as his time on the field. He's now caught between his $375 million Fox deal and his new role as a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. But is it possible for him to juggle both without setting himself up for failure? What we're about to discuss isn't just about Brady's choices, it's about the trust of sports fans and the very nature of loyalty. Let's break it all down. Brady's 10-year, $375 million deal with Fox made headlines for being one of the largest broadcasting contracts ever signed, but soon after he was approved as a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, a bold move that sparked a major dilemma. Now here's where things get complicated. The NFL has rules, and those rules don't favor someone trying to play both sides. Brady isn't allowed to attend practices, enter other teams' facilities, or participate in broadcast production meetings, all because of his ownership stake in the Raiders. He's got a clear conflict of interest, as the NFL recognizes when you are part owner of an NFL franchise and at the same time working for a broadcast partner handling the game with supposed objectivity. It's impossible. Mike Florio hit the nail on the head. How can Tom Brady remain objective while commentating on games that directly or indirectly affect his team? Imagine watching a game and wondering, is Brady's analysis influenced by his Raiders ownership? Hey, quick question. How would you feel if you were watching a game and the commentator owned one of the teams? Fair or foul? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tom Brady is going to have to, for the first time in his career, choose selfishness. He can't be fully invested in both roles. Ryan Clark brings up a powerful point. Brady, the ultimate team player, might have to choose self-interest for the first time in his career. But here's the burning question: is Brady even aware of the storm he's walking into? And is it really selfishness, or is he playing a long-term game that no one else can see yet? This isn't just a simple conflict. The NFL is a billion-dollar business, and trust is everything. If fans start questioning Brady's neutrality, it could undermine his credibility with Fox. And if his ownership role takes a backseat, how does that affect the Raiders' future? Here's where it gets even trickier. NFL owners don't just own. They shape the culture, the business, and the strategy of their teams. Brady's involvement with the Raiders means every word he says on air could be under a microscope. Is he being critical enough of the competition? Is he biased toward his own team? But the real question we need to ask is this: can Tom Brady handle this balancing act, or is he setting himself up for a false stick? With me, because we're about to dive deeper into the consequences. Let's take a step back and really think about what's at stake here. Fox didn't hire Brady because he's just another face in the crowd. They hired him because he's Tom Brady. The Tom Brady, his name brings credibility and viewership. But what happens when that credibility comes under fire? Imagine this. You're tuning into the Raiders vs Chiefs game, and there's Brady calling the shots, but in the back of your mind you can't help but wonder, is he holding back because he's part owner of the Raiders? Speaking of holding back, have you ever tried doing two jobs at once? Pretty exhausting right now. Imagine doing that with the whole world watching. Tough call. And this isn't just a hypothetical scenario. The NFL's restrictions are real. Brady can't even attend another team's practice. It's as if the league itself is setting the stage for an impossible balancing act. But here's what's really alarming. Ryan Clark went on to question whether fans can even trust what Brady says about the league. Now, his exact words: "How do I know if what Brady is saying about the league is real when there's a limitation on what he can do or say about the NFL?" And if fans start questioning Brady's commentary, it could tarnish not just his reputation but Fox's investment in him. But let's not forget, Brady is a master strategist. Could he actually find a way to balance both roles without compromising either? Or is this conflict bigger than even Brady can handle? The fear is real, not just for Brady but for everyone involved. Will he ultimately choose one path, or will his attempt to juggle both lead to an implosion that no one saw coming? So what's next for Tom Brady? Is he staring down the barrel of an impossible decision, one that forces him to pick between his $375 million Fox deal and his ownership stake in the Raiders? Oregon, is there a third option, a way for Brady to defy the odds like he's done so many times before? One thing's for sure, this story isn't just about Tom Brady, it's about the future of sports media. The NFL is evolving, and Brady's situation is setting a precedent. What happens here could impact other retired athletes and their transitions into media or ownership roles. Could we see more former players taking on dual roles? LeBron James in the broadcast booth while owning part of the Lakers. The possibilities are endless, but Brady's conflict of interest may determine whether this trend takes off or crashes. But let's not forget who we're talking about here. Brady has defied the odds before, so can he do it again? Can he emerge from this conflict stronger than ever? Or is this one battle even the GOAT can't win? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: Tom Brady's next move could redefine his legacy off the field. Hurricane Helene, the storm that left entire communities in eastern Tennessee and Florida reeling. Winds howled at over 150 miles per hour, uprooting lives, displacing families, and causing over $2 billion in damage. Public infrastructure was hit hard, with Northeast Tennessee bearing the brunt. Roads washed away, water systems crippled, and for thousands of residents, hope was fading as fast as the storm passed. What could a 21-year-old football player possibly do in the face of such overwhelming destruction? Let's be real, he's not out there rebuilding roads with his bare hands, right? Well, stay tuned, because this young man is about to surprise you. You see, J.C. Latham isn't your average rookie. Having grown up in Florida and later attended high school at IMG Academy, he's got deep connections to both Tennessee and Florida, two regions that were hit hardest by the hurricane. When the storm made landfall, Latham wasn't just thinking about his next game or his next paycheck. Instead, he made a decision that would send shockwaves through the sports world. He would donate 10% of his base salary, $75,000, to relief efforts. Think about that for a moment. How many people, let alone a rookie with his entire career ahead of him, would willingly part with that much money? Brief pause for dramatic effect, but JC knew something that many of us overlook sometimes. It's not about how much you give, it's about the impact your giving can have. Let's be honest. Most rookies spend their first check on a fancy car or maybe a new house for their mom. Latham, he's out here rebuilding communities. Now that's next level thinking. And the ripple effect of Latham's generosity didn't stop there. His donation came at a time when state officials were scrambling to piece together a recovery plan. Tennessee's governor, Bill Lee, had already announced a $100 million fund to repair vital infrastructure like water and wastewater systems. Yet there were whispers in the background. Lawmakers questioned whether more could be done. Could budget priorities be adjusted to meet the urgency of this crisis? And in walks J.C. Latham with a message louder than any debate in the state capitol: the people come first. But here's the twist, the real cliffhanger. This donation isn't just about the money, it's about the message. A 21-year-old is stepping up where some would say government and big organizations are falling short. Pause for dramatic tension. What happens when more athletes, more leaders, and even more ordinary people decide to take similar action? What could we accomplish if everyone gave just a little more? And hey, if JC keeps this up, he might even get his own Most Charitable Player award, because let's face it, he's not just building a career, he's building legacies. Like, comment, share, and subscribe the channel for more interesting videos.